What's going on, beautiful people? It's Nathaniel GE.
Who?
Nathaniel GE.
Who?
I upload YouTube videos sometimes.
I'm really who?
I just want you to know who I am.
No, for real though. Today we're going to be talking about the regret minimization framework, which is basically a fancy way for having some kind of framework, some kind of like thought process you can revert back to in terms of making better long-term decisions. Like when you got big important decisions to make, you can kind of use this framework. Now the idea for the regret minimization framework comes from Jeff Bezos, who is the CEO and founder of Amazon, and I'm sure you guys know what Amazon is or you've used it before. They are major. They came in and they majorly disrupted the area that they were working in. Jeff Bezos himself is a billionaire. According to Wikipedia, he's worth just under $7 billion. Now, the reason Jeff Bezos said he came up with this regret minimization framework is what he used when he had to make a very, very big life decision. He was already in a really well-paying job and he was close to having some kind of big, massive bonus coming up. But he had this idea for Amazon and he was really thinking, should I leave and just go and get on with it myself? And he had this choice because basically his bosses and his friends and family were saying to him to wait, at least if you're gonna leave, wait, get the big bonus and then leave. You know, you get paid a bit more, you're gonna have more money to fall back on, even though he was already being really well paid. And the idea of the regret minimization framework is really simple. It sounds a lot more complex than it is, but I love it. The idea is, think about, so you're in this situation that you're in right now and you got this big choice that you have to make, right? The idea of this is, put yourself into the future, yeah? You can close your eyes if you need to. You don't have to do it now, you can do it when you actually need to do it. But basically, you put yourself ahead and imagine yourself being 80 years old, right? So you're 80 years old, I mean, that's not the end of your life, but you've lived most of your life, like all the big decisions and all the stuff you would have done, whether it's building a company or raising a family and all that kind of stuff, you've already done that stuff, like most of it. So you're 80 now and you're looking back on your life, right? So you put yourself in that situation as an 80-year-old and then think about this particular decision you've got to make. For example, Jeff Bezos. So he was thinking, when I'm 80 years old, would I regret waiting however many months, for example, waiting 3 months to get this bonus before I start Amazon? Or when I'm 80 years old, would I regret not leaving this company and starting my own business? And it sounds really simple, but when you think of it like that, like the perspective of it just changes everything. Because I think the great thing about this method is it takes you out of your everyday mind, because whatever you're thinking about now, you kind of base it on, you know, the necessities of right now, right? So if I'm thinking about a decision of changing my job or something I want to do, obviously I'm thinking about, so in 4 weeks I need to pay this rent, I need to pay this bill, or I want to do this and I want to do that. Oh, but what if this happens? What if that happens? But if you take yourself all the way to 80, it's suddenly those things, those everyday things, they seem very minuscule, and then it forces you to think, oh, what would I be proud of? You know, like what would I be proud to think of at the end of my life or towards the end of my life, looking back? And that's why I love the regret minimization framework, because that's exactly what it is. Regret minimization. You know that thing they talk about a lot of older people when they're on their deathbeds or towards the end of their life, and people ask them about, you know, what advice would you give to your younger self? They always talk about, you know, try not to have regrets. Do the things now that you'd want to be able to look back on and say, yeah, I did this, yeah, I did that. There's this video I really love from Les Brown, who's a motivational speaker, and he's got this idea called the ghost of your potential, and I absolutely love it. So basically it kind of like links into this regret minimization framework. I'm gonna link it for you guys, but basically what he's saying is, can you imagine being on your deathbed and the only thing around you when you're in that deathbed, the moments before you're about to die, are the ghosts of your potential, right? So it's like a ghost of that book that you that you should have made. There's a ghost of that business that you could have made. There's, you know, like a ghost of those songs that you could have performed or those trips you could have taken.
He said, but imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the ideas, the dreams, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and that you, for whatever reason, you never acted on those ideas. You never pursued that dream. You never used those talents. We never saw your leadership. You never used your voice. You never wrote that book. And there they are standing around your bed looking at you with large angry eyes saying, we came to you and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever.
I think these two ideas, they come together so like perfectly, the regret minimization framework and the ghost of your potential.